Welcome back to the channel, and this is part 2 of sowing the seeds of long melon or long curly cucumbers. My pot is already ready. Okay, and I'm going to show you something over here. I have already done the seed selection in my previous part of the video, and if you guys have checked out that video, then you would know that these are some of the healthiest seeds that I separated from the not so healthy, small sized, weird looking, weird shapes of the seeds. This portion still needs to be segregated, which I'm going to do later on. This is just for showing you guys. Okay, and in this part of the video we are going to show you also the type of containers that I'm taking to try and sow them. So these are 4 little bit tall containers, as you can see. Okay, these are 4 tall containers. Okay, as you can see the size of the containers. These are like those biscuit containers and stuff that you get, and none of the containers has holes at the bottom. Okay, because when the plants, because I will be sowing more number of plants, because this is for a potted garden and I don't really have a space where I can just sow them on the ground and all. So I'm going to be using tall containers because the roots are going to be very deep probing, and there will be more number of plants, so it will also be easier for me to segregate and separate the weaker plants as and when they keep growing. I would like to at least have 2 plants in each container and keep the size of the plants small. Now let us go over to the soil composition that I'm going to be using. Now cucumbers or long melons, they prefer plain garden soil. Okay, they don't really have excess nutrient requirement. If you pump them up with a whole lot of nutrients, they are going to get a boost in their nitrogen content, and when the nitrogen content might increase in the plants beyond the normal level, then the plants will become more and more prone to catching pests and diseases. Okay, so I have seen, like in my pumpkins also, when I was growing them, lots of pests which suck on the leaves. That become really common and a big problem, because you cannot just go on spraying the plants over and over and over again, because they are not going to have healthy and edible fruits after that. So that is a problem. Okay, so I'm going to be using garden soil, about say 60%. Then I'm also going to be using 40% of mulch, any type of mulch, sawdust, whatever, to retain the moisture. I'm also going to be using seaweed fertilizer, just 4 or 5 granules in a whole big pot of water, and whole big pot for 4 or 5 granules for my 4 pots. So if you are using only 1 pot, just dilute maybe just 1 or 2 granules in like 1 whole cup of water. Okay, and I'm also going to be using a little bit of vermicompost, though that is not necessary. Okay, but you can still just sprinkle a little bit of vermicompost or any kind of like a cow dung manure or horse dung manure. These manures can also help the plant. I specifically do not suggest using any kind of oil cakes, because it might hamper the growth of the seedling. Okay, since we are planting right off from seeds, so it could hamper the growth of seedlings. Let's just do the planting. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So all of my pots has a good sprinkle of seeds. Okay, as you can see, I've not laid down the seeds in any particular direction, or not used very little number of seeds. I've used quite a handful. So as you can see, like this, you will have to spread it, and be careful to not overfill the pot. Fill at least, a little bit more than 3/4 length of the pot. Containers should be tall if you have a space problem like I do. Okay, so you can use containers which are like biscuit containers, a little tall ones. Okay, with no holes at the bottom, because you can use holes at the bottom, but right now I'm not using any holes because we are already in summer and it's pretty hot, and I would like the pots to retain some water. Later on, after these grow, maybe I'll punch in some holes at the bottom. Okay, but only after knowing which of the plants are actually healthy or not healthy. So it will be after a final selection process. Alright, after you have laid down the seeds, cover it with a thin layer of soil like I've already done for this one. Okay, and then just sprinkle some little bit of seaweed fertilizer water. Okay, like about for 4 parts, use about 5 grains of 5 round little balls of seaweed in about 1 whole mug, not cup, mug of water. Okay, and just sprinkle that on all of these parts, and that's it. Do not over fertilize them. Let the plants grow, let it germinate, and then we will know what else we need to do about fertilizing it. Okay, occasional fertilizing would be good, but not over fertilizing it. It increases the nitrogen content of the plant, attracting more and more pests. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be back with more, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Alright, bye for now.